Hi. Today I wanted to talk to you about whether or not you feel, or I feel, or anybody feels, that YouTube and social media in general is hurting tourism and people actually traveling. And you say, well, how could that be possible? Let me explain. I've often heard many people say that they are not going to go to a place because of videos that they've seen on YouTube. They've watched people, they've seen people do things, and now they feel as though they know everything there is to know about that place. And so what's the point in going? Because they've seen the video on it, right? Not only that, but sometimes, sadly, a lot of people will make videos that they don't have great experiences at these places, or it's not what you could expect, or reasons why you shouldn't go, why you shouldn't do it, right? We watch these videos. I'm guilty. I watch these videos. I watch Instagram stuff. I watch all kinds of stuff. And we try to find out what is it that people are doing out there, because that's our modern life. We're all curious about how people are living, what are they doing, how are they doing it, right? Now, what is the problem with all this? The problem is a couple of things, and let me explain. First off is, I don't know if you ever had dreams like I did. I think you did, right? We all have dreams. But I had dreams as a kid that I wanted to go to certain places. I wanted to do certain things. And I never thought that I'd be able to go to many places in my life. And trust me, I haven't been to that many. I have a lot more to go. There are people out there that have been to like every country, and they've like done every ocean, they've done every continent. Like, I mean, they're amazing, right? And I think that they're truly blessed to be able to do stuff like that. And I mean, yeah, of course I'm jealous, right? Who wouldn't be jealous? And so it's kind of cool to watch stuff like that, right? I only pray that God will give me the blessings to be able to do that stuff in my lifetime. And I hope to get there. But you know what? Also, there are a lot of people who, for whatever reason, will not be able to. They might have some, physical limitations where they can't travel as much. They may have economic reasons. They may have family reasons that they're not able to do these things. And so that's why these videos are helpful for a lot of people. But getting back to the dreams, imagine we had these dreams of, let's just say, for instance, we always wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower. And you haven't been yet, but you've watched so many Instagram reels, so many YouTube videos on visiting the Eiffel Tower, that by the time you get there, you're not going to be surprised anymore. And you're not going to be blown away like you would have been years ago when social media was not around. Because just imagine if the only time you'd seen the Eiffel Tower was in a magazine or a newspaper, right? And we're going back, years and years and years ago. And then, of course, let's say, again, before social media, but 80s, 90s, you saw the Eiffel Tower, but you saw it on TV. And it was either in movies or it was in TV shows. Maybe it was on like a newscasting, right? But there was nothing to the extent of what is available today, where people go into such high detail about certain places. And, it's honestly amazing the amount of content that is available to us to watch 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So now we've bombarded ourselves with all of this stimuli of what to expect at the Eiffel Tower, that now we finally get there, and then we say to ourselves, this was my dream, and I don't know. I'm left feeling unfulfilled. I'm left not being wowed. I'm left feeling sad because I thought it would be more. I thought my dream would be stronger, that I would be happier, that I finally made it here. Now, I'm not blaming YouTube, and I'm not blaming all the social media, but at some point, we have to realize what we're doing to ourselves. When we consume all of this information about somewhere we want to go visit that is a dream to us, that it's going to somehow shape our experience once we get there. Now, and there's other sides to this, and I totally get this. But you say, well, gee, Daniel, you have to plan, right? We need to do all this. We need to watch these videos because we need to understand what it's like. We need to know where to stay. We need to know how long we need to be there. We need to know how to get the tickets because time is of essence. We need to know where to go to get the best pictures. And especially what I do for content, we need to know where to go eat, especially if you have a dairy-free problem, a dairy allergy problem like me, and you're looking for dairy-free food. So we need to know which places to go to. So that's why we have to do all this research. We have to watch all these videos. But I just want us to remember that in doing all of that, we take away a little bit of the wow factor when we get there, right? And if we wanted to flash forward even further, the more detrimental thing we do to ourselves is that we don't even end up going because we say to ourselves, I've seen the video and I know what it's like. Now I don't need to go. And to me, honestly, I've never heard something sadder. That makes me feel sad when someone says, hey, I saw your video in San Francisco. It was so great. Thank you so much because now I don't need to go there. And I say that's a horrible thing to say, right? And why is that a horrible thing to say? And it's not horrible that you liked my video. Thank you for that. What's horrible is that you wouldn't want to go there. And if I destroyed or took away that experience from you, then I apologize. And I am so, so sorry. But please understand that my experience at that place is unique and it's special to me. That is not the experience that you would have. You need to go, if you can, and live your own experience. Kind of write your own chapters, right? I don't know if you've ever seen The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I'm a huge Tolkien fan, right? So there's like 6 movies on this, and I'm like a nut when it comes to these movies. I wasn't actually when they came out, but I fell in love with them after the fact. And I can sit for hours over coffee and quote the movie to you. But so there's a character in there, my favorite character. He's actually a wizard. His name is Gandalf. And he's talking to a hobbit named Bilbo. And he tells Bilbo he wants Bilbo to go on basically an unexpected adventure. Kind of somewhere where you don't know what's going to happen. Just imagine this, if there were no videos or there was no way to tell what you're going to be doing or where you're going to be going. You have this overall mission of where I want to go, but how you're going to get there and what you're going to encounter along the way, that's uncertain. So Bilbo is skeptical. And but Gandalf says to him that he reminds him that the world is not in his books and in his maps. Or for like us, it's not in our phones. Instead, it is out there, outside of our house. It's on an airplane, it's on a boat, it's getting out and seeing the world. But at this point, Bilbo is obviously still skeptical and he's still afraid. And so he asks Gandalf, well, Gandalf, can you promise me that I will come back? And Gandalf looks at him seriously and he says, no, I can't, right? And Bilbo says, that's what I thought. Because let's be honest, the world sometimes can be a scary place for a lot of us. When I embark on a journey, when anybody embarks on a journey, I don't know if I'll be coming home. I imagine that I will, but it is a risk that we take, right? And I'm not trying to be overly dramatic. I really, every time I get on an airplane, I don't think that the airplane will have problems. But you have to be practical that something could happen someday. So that's why some folks don't travel, because they're afraid of the unknown or what could happen, and something bad could happen. That is very true. It's very low likelihood though, right? But also Gandalf finishes off and he tells Bilbo that if he does return, he says that he will not be the same. And Bilbo says, obviously, yeah, And so what does that mean? I won't be the same. I can tell you that every single adventure, every trip that I've ever taken in my entire life, I have never returned the same either. Whether it's when I went to see Christ Redeemer in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, right? I mean, I did it right during the middle of the pandemic, when it was, obviously safe to travel, but still with risks. And I had a family of 22 of us. We all went there. It was kind of like a pilgrimage. It felt amazing. I am a Christian. I love my God. And so to do that and to go to the Vatican and have a mass with the Pope, to do everything that I've done, everywhere that I've traveled, every single adventure just brings you back with a different perspective. It fills you up with hope and humility and love, and hopefully you're able to take what you've learned on these adventures and push that onto other people, inspire them to travel. I've been able to inspire some people to take some trips, and we went to Europe. I'm going to be planning to go back. I want to go back to Europe again and explore some more. I want to explore new parts that I didn't go to, and I want to go back to some of the same places I've already been, but do it again. And that brings me to another point. This is an important one. Some people say to me, because they've gone somewhere, that they don't need to go back, that they've done it already. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that philosophy. And this is very important, because think about it this way. Think if, like, where you live today and you go the same way to work every day, whether you take public transportation or you take your car, right? You get into work the same way, you have lunch the same way, all of those things every day kind of feels like the same. So let's say you have a favorite destination, and let's just say it's, Florida. And you go down to Florida and you stay in the same hotel or condominium kind of place, right? You go to the same beach. You do the same routine every time you go there. So you say to somebody, it's the same thing every time I go. So if you've been to a place and you say, I don't need to go back because it'll be the same, I beg to differ, right? And if that is the case, then bring someone different with you. Because I tell you, you bring different people, you get a different trip, right? And it just changes the dynamic of everything, right? Stay in a different hotel. If you usually rent a car, don't rent a car. See if you can get around with Ubers and public transport, and doing different things of the same place. You will experience it in a different way. And I've been fortunate now. I waited my whole life to get to the Grand Canyon, but I was able to get to the Grand Canyon now, I want to say 4 times. About 4 times. I've been in the summer, and I've actually been in the winter to the Grand Canyon. And every time was unique and different, and it was incredible. Every time I went with different people, we had different experiences, and I loved each one of them uniquely in their own rights, because it was amazing. So I would say that even though you've been somewhere, if you have the availability, if you have the, if you can get there and do it again, I recommend trying it again, because you will see new things, you will experience new things, right? Now, again, I am not saying that everybody needs to travel in order to have a fulfilled life. But what I am saying is that if you want to travel, and even though it seems challenging and there may be hurdles and obstacles in your way, trying to get over those hurdles and obstacles and finally getting there makes the destination so much more worth it, right? And if you want to watch the videos and get yourself excited and believe that, this is helping your dream to come true, because the more that I watch the video, the more I'm saying to myself, oh, I can't wait to get there. I'm going to be so excited. I want to do things the way certain people did them. And I saw the video, this guy, he went and did that, and that's what I'm going to do. Then that is wonderful. Please don't use it to a detrimental effect where it actually dissuades you from wanting to go, because that would be sad, right? If we think about what it is to be human and humanity, thinking about that word, it has Latin roots, humanatis, right? It's all about kindness, being kind to each human, because we are all humans. We're all one. When you go to places, try to spread kindness. Try to make friends. Bring friends with you on these trips, right? Family if you can. But talk to people, smile. Get lost a little bit. Walk around safely, of course, right? Safely. But do things that are unexpected. Sometimes maybe if you can, have a few hours in your trip where you don't have certain things planned out, and just let the unexpected kind of play out. When I go on a cruise, oftentimes there's say it's like a 5-day cruise. If I had 2 days of excursions, the other day or two, I would pick nothing. And I would get off a boat in a port of call and just wing it, right? Just wing it. For instance, in the Virgin Islands, I said, I want to get to a beach. That was my goal, just get to a beach. So I found a taxi. I said, bring me to a local beach. I don't need a tour. I wasn't trying to be rude, but I don't want a tour. I want to find a local's spot. And I was so pleasantly charmed at where the cab driver brought me. It was incredible. I had the best time. It was not only more affordable, and all the tourists weren't there, it was all the locals, but it just was culturally better. I made friends, I talked to people. Amazing. So sometimes not having a specific plan is actually a great way to go about it. But anyways, I hope that this was in some way helpful. I hope my videos are in some way helpful. And if they're not, then please tell me. Leave a comment, right? Just because I'm a professor does not mean that I know everything. I am always learning. And please teach me things. Leave me comments. Let me know how I can do better. Let me know what I need to provide you better value for my content, and I will try my best to do that. But I appreciate you watching, and I just wanted to remind you to take the trip. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.